It's the holiday season, end of the year, and also it's time for Saxo Bank's 2013 outrageous predictions. Now in its 10th year, I think it's very important for me to stress that it is not Saxo's official view. These are 10 independent events, should they happen, that will change the financial landscape. We think personally that to put you in a discomfort zone is far more important than to give you the fair weather predictions about the world. So in that light, and with a smile on our lips, let's proceed immediately to the first of the 5 out of the 10 calls. We think the German DAX could plunge 33% next year and hit the 5,000 mark. Kind of ironic, as we today is seeing the high of the year and the high since the crisis started. But this is all about Germany deciding whether they want to wake up or stand by Europe or not. If they decide after the German election in September to proceed and embrace more of the European thought of fiscal union and debt mutualization, we think Germany will be downgraded. We think it will be hurt the political atmosphere, and Germany could start to tailor off. The second one is probably a little bit more political and politically incorrect maybe, but we are calling for Japan to nationalize parts of the electronics industry. The electronics industry is hit by very, very severe high cost of producing domestically, increasingly also competitors from South Korea, among them of course Samsung, but also the fact that the domestic growth in the Japanese market, one of the biggest consumer markets in the world, has been deflated by the lack of growth, by the lack of jobs opportunity and an aging population group. We think that end of the day Japan could end up in a situation like in the US, where you will see the government intervene and create a trouble asset relief program, which is enacted to secure the jobs of Japan and to make sure that Japan moves forward. But at the end of the day, it's always about deflation or not in Japan. Number 3 is that we see the WTI crude, i.e. the West Texas oil, going to $50. This is a combination of extremely high production levels in the world this year, the US among them, but also the huge paradigm shift we saw in 2012, where shale gas all of a sudden became prominent in terms of its place, not just in the among the pundits and among the commentators, but also that the US today is producing almost 30 to 35% of all their energy from shale gas. We think that is a dramatic change. It will shift the relative importance of the two products, natural gas and crude, to the negative for crude and for the positive for natural gas. So that would be the 50. The next one is the most controversial one so far. We have found that we see the gold in 1200. Apparently this is the position none of you like to see happen. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you need to be extra careful. 1200 gold in an environment of infinite money printing and easy monetary policy may be hard to imagine. But contemplate the fact that US interest rate goes up, the dollar goes higher, the world all of a sudden finds its gears and start to produce growth. Maybe then people will be going away from this supposedly safe haven of gold, ETFs and the like, with underlying gold resources put to it, and move towards more productive investments like people, microeconomics and companies which every day is opening the doors to make money. And then we move on to soybeans. We think soybeans will rise by 50% next year, partly because of the seasonality of it, the weather, of course. The impact we think is very negative on the inflation, particularly in Asia, where 25% of CPI is coming from food ingredients. We hope it doesn't happen, but it looks like that China is already starting stockpiling soybeans. And a funny little story is that every single year that ends with a 3, soybeans has been up at least 50%. 83, 93, 03, and maybe 13.